This your boy, Adir Yates, aka ISO the God. Wow. What's going on with y'all folks today? We're going to have a good one. This is going to be the first episode of the Mac Project Show. I appreciate everybody who watched it, listened to it beforehand, but we are reloading, revamping. I just want y'all, please, everyone, go follow the page, help us grow it. I appreciate y'all, because y'all got to see it. First things first, this episode, I really wanted to break down how did my brain get to where it's at. And it's a very simple transition. It's actually quite simple of a transition. It's not the hardest thing to believe on how I got here. For starters, I was raised during a generation of black people that taught us civil rights, all of the slaveries, had us watching The Roots, all these different shows to instill being a victim in my mindset at an early age. At an early age. To the point where they made me practically hate people for something that essentially they never did, but because of the past anger. See, we talk about why black folks are so angry. I have a synopsis behind it. I have a theory. This is my thesis. Civil rights was the final nail in the coffin for black people. The civil rights movement, everything that happened during civil rights was the final nail to how we got here. What do you mean? Well, let's be clear. Before civil rights, black people had their own communities. Black people had their own stores, their own hospitals, their own schools. Black people have their own buildings, their own apartment complexes, their own houses, their own things that was built by black people for black people. Now, we could talk about the quality of the stuff that was built for black people. That's a different conversation. But what we had was a sense of we can do it if we stick together. I've talked to a lot of older people who grew up during the segregation time period. And one reoccurring theme when it comes to that sticks out to me was the unity that they had back in the day before the civil rights movement. See, what the civil rights movement also did was it created the division between two different black people. For one, you had the black person that wanted to get everything easy. You had the black people that says, damn, if we're allowed freedoms, if we're allowed justices, if we're allowed the same rights, quote unquote, the white folks got, we would get farther in life if we had the same opportunities the white folks had. And then you had another set of black people that was saying, fuck that shit. We're good. We just need to work on our own. We need to build our own. These are two different black people. Today, we still have two different black people. We have the young ones, the YNs. We have the old fools, the older generation. We have all that stuff that all want handouts. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to grind. They don't want to put in that extra effort. They're not trying to build up communities. They're not trying to build up their circle. They're not trying to influence nobody in their circle, only to do bullshit. That's one group of people. And then you have the black people that are saying, hey, I don't want nothing I didn't work for. I don't want nothing I didn't put the energy in for. I don't want nothing I do not deserve. Because I want to work for it. I want to get the feeling of working for it. See, I was raised during the era of where people actually work for their shit. I've been working jobs since I was young as a motherfucker. I've been cutting grass and working at junkyards, shoveling fucking metals since I was 14, 15, 16. I was doing all of this stuff before I could even legally work. I grew up in the era to where you worked for what you wanted. My mom stopped buying me school clothes when I was like 16, because that's when I started working. Or started being able to say, hey, look, I'm going to buy my school clothes this year. Because I grew up where you had a sense of pride in going out there and getting it and bringing it home. This is what the division and the stop of that happened during the civil rights movement. Because this is when we started getting implemented all of these government assistance. After the civil rights movement is when Section 8 came, child support, all of these other benefits came along right with that. And you want me to tell you what also came along with that? Drugs, murder, children out of wedlock, the demise of the family, the destruction of the family. All of this stuff came after the civil rights movement. I believe history is going to step back and show that the civil rights movement was by far the worst era for black people, period. It's going to show the civil rights were the catalyst to how a race of people self-imploded. They self-imploded. All because of no peace. Yes. All because of Martin Luther King. Is it all his fault? No. But we have to attack the image that they put on the pedestal. If we don't attack the image that they put on the pedestal, and you praise the image that they put on the pedestal, that led you into some bullshit. Even Martin Luther King said, I feel like I led my people into a burning building. Just show this part of it. All right.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. But I've had to analyze many things over the last few years, and I would say over the last few months. I've gone through a lot of soul-searching and agonizing moments. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism. And I think the realistic fact is that we still have a long, long way to go. I think the biggest problem now is that we got our gains over the last 12 years at bargain rate, so to speak. It didn't cost the nation anything. In fact, it helped the economic side of the nation to integrate lunch counters and public accommodations.
The white power structure to slow down that struggle for freedom and human dignity uses tricks. 100 years ago, they could do it with chains. Today, they use tricks, and one of the tricks that they've invented is this token integration, to get Negro, so-called Negro leaders to accept a few token crumbs of integration that don't solve any problem for the masses of black people in this country whatsoever, but it does make the hand-picked Negroes be satisfied to slow down the cry of the masses. And a good example of that is as soon as the spirit of rebellion or revolution began to spread among the masses of black people in this country, and they began to take an active part, and they showed that they weren't confined to this nonviolent approach, then the government or the power structure began to sit up and take notice. And now, as you said earlier, the president is talking about new legislation and to put it, take it out of the streets and put it back in the courts. Why, as long as it's in the streets, it's in the hands of the masses of black people who will not compromise or who cannot be bought out. But when you put it back in the courts, then that puts it back into the hands of the hand-picked Negro leaders who will allow the judges and the other persons that are involved in this white power structure to slow them down. It's only a trick. And as long as the masses of black people are involved in the struggle for freedom, not integration, but freedom, and respect as human beings, respect as men, and show that they're willing to die to be respected as men, then the power structure sits up and takes notice. But as long as this mass element is led, and when I say led, I use led in quotes, actually contained by Uncle Tom Negro leaders who hold them back, who tell them turn the other cheek, and things like that, then the white power structure isn't worried at all. They're only worried when they know that the masses of black people are ready to explode, and then exploding it will destroy some of the furniture in their house, and then they react accordingly.
Although I'm not with the train of thought that white people are the root of all evil, I'm not of the train of thought that the white power structure has oppressed and beat down these niggas so fucking bad to where that they cannot get ahead. I'm not with none of that shit. Why? Because I've seen what these niggas have done. And the train of thought that Malcolm X had back in that day on how we have to be violent to get their attention, I'm telling you this, we're the most violent right now. If Malcolm X could have been here, he'd probably be rolling over in his grave. He would be rolling over in his grave right now if he could see, just get a glimpse of how violent these niggas are right now. You was right. Niggas definitely get attention more because of violence. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad the little girls gotta die. It's sad the children gotta go through it. It's sad that there's so many young people locked up in jail right now. I think that the greatest trick ever played on black people by black people was that the white people gotta treat them better than we treat ourselves. Motherfuckers will go and beg for justice from the white folks all day long. Justice, we want justice, we want peace, we want this, we want that. You are begging the white man all day long. I believe that was the greatest trick, the greatest deception to black people, that you have no power to make something happen on your own. You have to get a handout. This is why I hate the whole reparations conversation. Number one, I feel like we've received over reparations. Well, what you mean? Do you not see there's so many people right now living without working on jobs? It's so many people surviving without punching into a clock. It's so many people surviving off of government assistance, food stamps, WIC, Section 8, free child care, all types of things that this government is providing right now. You're saying, no, we want more than that. People say we want free schooling. You can go and get a Pell Grant right now. If you're not making that much money, you can go and get a Pell Grant right now and take your motherfucking ass to a community college for free. Hello. For free right now. And then you can go to a 4-year school, because matter of fact, a lot of these community colleges are state colleges now, and they have 4-year degrees already. So you can go and get a debt-free degree right now. You can go and get all types of grants right now. These are all things that's possible right now. But you want more. What more do you want? And then when we start thinking about when you get more, what happens when black people get more money? Is more shrimp boils, more big ass TVs bought, more young niggas dying? What happens when black people get more money? And I know people gonna be saying, oh, well, this just a nigga bashing nigga. No. No. See, I grew up where you talk about the people you love. You ignore the people you hate. That's what I grew up on. See, I ain't grew up during this whole social media time to where everything is so quick to respond to hate. Oh, fuck you, I don't like your opinions. Yeah. See, I ain't grew up during that time period. I grew up where you ignored the people you hate, and the people you love, you criticize, and you make sure that we're better. You make sure that these people do better. See, I ain't grew up with a whole bunch of women in my household. I grew up around a whole bunch of young men and men. But once again, civil rights is what ended a lot of that bullshit. Let's think about how the civil rights movement started. The civil rights movement started because a little boy from Chicago went to Mississippi, and whatever the case is that happened between them, he was killed. And at the end of the day, the mom went on this whole tour saying, hey, look, this is what these people did to my baby. And that spearheaded the whole civil rights movement. Then you had leaders that came out during the civil rights movement. You had the Rosa Parks. First off, I got an issue with the Rosa Parks situation. I'm really giving y'all why I believe the civil rights movement was the worst thing that ever happened to black people. Rosa Parks was the beginning of the end for black women. And now we could go to so many other examples even before Rosa Parks, but let's just stop specifically at Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks says that she don't want to go to the back of the bus. Okay. You don't want to go to the back of the bus because that's where the niggas was forced to sit during that time. Okay. I think that was the spearhead of these black women not being able to be told shit. Now we have a series of black women that only deals with men based on what they're willing to provide and what they're allowed to get away with. Now they only pick black men that they're allowed to run over. They're allowed to do all of this stuff. This shit did not go on back in the day. This was not the train of thought back in the day. But you could implement so much bullshit after the civil rights movement. The victimhood that black people have is not because of slavery, but not just because of slavery, because these niggas do play victim because of slavery. We have to count in all of the other time periods too. But specifically, the civil rights movement was the most in the history of this country where black people were fucking victim. What do you mean? The victim mentality that we received during the civil rights movement and after the civil rights movement shaped us to why we are fucked up today. Because with the civil rights movement comes the destruction of the black family. Well, the white man used it. No. The white man isn't the ones who decided to lay down with these women and have children with them. See, the white man didn't force the woman to say, hey, I can get all of these government assistance without you, or I could stay with the child's father and we have a stable household, something that we've just seen for the last couple of generations work. It worked. We had Black Wall Street back then. You don't think that was built with fathers in the household? We had cities that were huge during that time. Detroit, Washington, D.C., New York, Chicago. We had a lot of big cities and big places for black people. Hell, we had places in the South that was big for black people back in the day. Black people have historically done so much stuff. We're talking about good stuff. We're talking about building our own, doing all of this stuff. And a lot of stuff changed when we were allowed to be integrated into a system that, for the most part, a lot of black people in today's time feel like, hey, we don't like it here. You don't like it here, but you also don't like doing whatever it takes not to be in the same position. And what I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is this. We have a victim mentality that when somebody holds us accountable for our lack of being productive, lack of having any type of restraints. I show a lot of these videos that show niggas at their absolute worst. And I do that because at the end of the day, this is information. It's so many black people or so many people, period, under the delusion that stuff is happening to, anybody. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, green, whatever. Stuff happen to people for no reason. Stuff don't be happening to people for no reason. Oh, it's a very good reason why a lot of stuff happens to people. And niggas, we just have the worst side of it. We just have the worst side of it. And it ain't because of slavery, and it ain't because of what the white man did to us. It's because our mentalities is that of a baby, an infant, of a newborn. We get hurt. All we know how to do is cry. We don't know how to make anything happen for ourselves. It's sickening when I sit up here and look at all of these videos that I do on a consistent basis, that shit hurt. It literally hurts my soul. But then at the same token, I sit up here and hear people say we need reparations. We need reparations for what somebody did to us 400 years ago. Meanwhile, look at what these niggas doing today. They're shooting everything up. They destroying everything that they touch. In every area that they're in is nothing but bullshit. And this is not me just coming down on the niggas, but this is my people. These are the people that I've seen growing up. These are the people that I've experienced. These are my friends. These are my family members. This is what I have experienced with. So yes, I'm going to talk about them. Because I want to see my people do better. And honestly, I say my people loosely because y'all niggas ain't my people. A lot of these niggas is not my people. A lot of these niggas are my enemies. A lot of these niggas are my opponents. A lot of these niggas want to kill me, just like they killed Malcolm X. A lot of these niggas want to kill me, just like they did everybody else. That's what it is. My people is the ones that want to do better for themselves. Once again, this is why I believe that the civil rights movement took that away from us. The civil rights movement implemented the drug movement. It implemented the dope boys. It implemented trapping. It implemented all of the bullshit that you're seeing today. The civil rights movement brought it in. Black people should be asking for reparations from the civil rights leaders that got rich. Black people should get reparations from the civil rights leader that got rich during the civil rights movement. Hello. Why? Well, look at the results. Look at the results. I don't want to get into segregation, desegregation talks too heavy because I know that these social media platforms want to demonetize me and limit me and block my reach so people can't see my videos and all that shit. I get it. I get it. I ain't going to talk about segregation, desegregation, but what I'm going to talk about is black people had a sense of self-worth. Matter of fact, black people's period self-worth comes from what they can create with their own hands in their own minds. Anything else, we are worthless. This is for the white folks. If y'all want to see what type of black people y'all should like, y'all should give chances to, y'all should allow to build a relationship with. I ain't telling you got to, but I'm saying if you want to figure out which ones, go to the nigga that's actually doing something with himself. So many times I see homeless people on the street and all they want, okay, can I get $1? Can I get this? Can I get that? Man, you're a whole able-bodied motherfucker. I'm sure somebody would like to have you on their job. But because so many people are going to stop and give you $1, you might have somebody give you $20. You might have somebody give you $5. You might have somebody, because so many people are going to stop and hand you money. That's what keep them out there. And then the same thing with these niggas. So many people make allowances for black people, young ones. This is why it's so bad. It's so bad. It's terrible. It's even worse. It's even worse. This 4th of July that just passed, my God. They are literally attacking the police. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to show y'all the videos I've been collecting on the 4th of July. My God. We have an issue, black folks, and it's ourselves. It's not white people. It's not Asian people. It's not Arab people. The black man and the black woman are their worst enemies. in times where we should be our only allies, we turn up to be our worst enemy consistently. You can look at my comment section on my videos. You can see who attacked me more for holding people accountable. I make the same videos about white people. I make all types of videos about white people, pedophiles, all types of bullshit about them, taxes, fraud, all types of shit. But their response is never what the black folks' response is. They'll say, well, you don't make as many videos. Well, why you think I don't make as many videos? Because I don't even have to look for the videos for the niggas. It's being thrown on me. Why not? Why not talk about them? Why not attack the same people that attack me every step of the way? Black folks have attacked me since a kid. I'm actually putting that aspect of my life into this book that I'm writing. I ain't gonna lie, this book is amazing. I really do appreciate all of the love and the support. I appreciate everything that has happened throughout these years. I don't think that I ever imagined getting this much support, this much love all over. I really appreciate it. I'm just being honest though. I believe that black people's beginning of the end started with the civil rights movement. I believe we lost a sense of self. The trades, skilled trades, the gift of the skilled trades was lost. A lot of black people don't know how to work tools. They don't know how to build anything, and that's what we did. It's a sad situation, and it's only getting worse. Things are getting automated. Technology is through the roof. It's so many different things that black folks could have learned right now because of the information, the YouTubes, the Googles. There's so much information out here for to learn, but yet mentally, we're the weakest we've ever been. Spiritually, we're the weakest we've ever been. And this is something that no reparations is going to fix. There's no policy. You can't just throw everybody in jail. That's not going to fix it. If they try to kill everybody up, that's not going to fix it. I feel bad for my children because my children have to grow up in this world where I personally don't see a fix. I don't see a way to fix anything. Because every single time they try to quote unquote fix something, it turns it into 10 times worse. Hey, look, I really appreciate y'all. This is the first episode of the Mac Project Show. I hope that I have given y'all something. I hope that my words and y'all can really feel my heart behind it. We're going to get back to working, dropping, moving, grooving, sliding. I appreciate it. And I'm out. Wow.